Hello there, freedom marketers. It's Divian Mistry here, the funnel marketing coach, coming at you with a brand new episode of the funnel marketing series. So look, hey, today in this master, I don't know what happened there. That was the worst intro I've ever made to any video ever in my life. So I just lost my chain of thought there. Hey, look. Welcome to this masterclass. Today, we're covering a topic which I think is incredibly important to every and any business. And actually, this particular topic, it becomes more important the bigger you grow. The bigger you want to be, the more important it becomes. And I've got clients. So what is the topic first? That would really help. The topic is how to use a quick technique to leverage all the emails that you create, or sets of emails that you create, to turn them into marketing assets that you can use over and over and over again. And this might seem, first of all, why is this important? Why is this important to you? Why should you listen to this live stream and this masterclass on why this is important? Well, the reality is, if you want to grow your business, it doesn't matter what stage you're at, whether you're just starting out or whether you're £1 million or a 10 million or £100 million business. In order for you to grow, you've got to be able to do more stuff in less time, right? It's as simple as that. You've got to be able to do more with less. And in the past, what people would have done is they would have gone and hired people to work for them to do more things. And that is definitely something you've got to do if you want to grow big, right? You've got to hire people. But one of the stages before hiring people, or one of the stages before permanently hiring people full-time, as an example, is you've got to be able to automate. Because automating your campaigns means that the effort you put in to write, let's say, one email campaign is then used over and over and over again. And what that means is you can do more with less, right? It's as simple as that. If you want to grow big, you've got to be able to do more with less of your personal time, effort, and input. And the quickest way to do this is when you're putting that time, effort, and input into creating an email campaign, creating that email series, is to automate that right off the bat so you can use it. Now, this is important at all stages because look, if you're somebody who's small, got a small business, just starting out, you're doing, I don't know, 30, 40, 50,000 pound a year, you're going to want to automate because there's only so much you can do by yourself. Now, you could go and hire somebody, of course, that is an option, but automation creates a much bigger return for the effort and the money you put in than generally speaking, than hiring somebody else straight off the bat. So why would a bigger business do this? Well, bigger business need this even more because they have less time and now they've got to pay for other people's time. So when you're paying for somebody else's time, you want to make sure that they're leveraging their time as much as possible. So it costs you the least amount for the effort that they're putting in. And the third reason why, it reduces mistakes. I don't know if you've ever done this, like you've done a launch campaign or a campaign of some sort. And I remember doing this a number of years back. I did a campaign and I thought, yeah, I've put the first email in. I'll write the other emails later and I'll broadcast them, etc. And everything was late. And I hardly made any sales, to be perfectly honest, because it was a mess. It was a mess. And that wasn't a lack of understanding of how to do it. It was a lack of understanding of the importance of doing it. So what I want to show you today is the importance of doing it and how to turn your email marketing efforts into repeatable automated campaigns that you can just hit the go button on whenever you need to. So an example of this is, let's say you're a bigger business, you've got lots of campaigns going on and you're trying to finish a campaign by a certain point and something happens. Something happens and you can't get that campaign up and running as quickly as you would like to. Well, if you've got one of these campaigns in your back pocket, you've created a campaign previously, you've ran it, it's made money, it's engaged your audience, whatever the outcome you're looking to create, generally make money. You can pull that out of your back pocket and go, you know what? This week I'm just going to run that campaign because I know that I can't finish the campaign I want to finish, so we can just pull that campaign out of the bag, hit the go button, and we know that we're going to get some results. And that's incredibly important, because if you can do that, you can fill in the gaps and you can keep marketing and you keep your audience engaged and keep the money rolling in, which is like the most important thing in business, right? Otherwise, you're not a business. So that's why it's so important. But here's the biggest mistake people make. Now I'm going to show you this big mistake in a software called Infusion. You're not using Infusionsoft, and that's okay. You don't need to use Infusionsoft, right? There's plenty of other software out there that you can use. There's ActiveCampaign, which is if you're not going to go for Infusionsoft, I think ActiveCampaign is the best alternative. Other people have different opinions. But I think it's the best alternative. There's things like ConvertKit. There is Constant Contact. There's iContact. There's MailChimp. Please don't use MailChimp. It's just go for ActiveCampaign if you're going to go for MailChimp, in my opinion. There's tons of different ones out there, and this is what I'm saying, right? I personally think Infusionsoft does have the most functionality. You don't need Infusionsoft, is the reality, when you're starting out. When you want to become big, let's say you want to grow to a seven-figure business, Infusionsoft is incredibly helpful in aiding you to do that, because it has functions that most other email marketing softwares don't have. But we're not doing a review of Infusionsoft. All I'm saying is I'm going to show you inside Infusionsoft, and hey, whatever software you use should really be able to do this. And if it can't do this, then I would highly suggest you change software to something that can do this. There's so many different softwares out there that can do this. But if yours doesn't do this, then definitely change, because you can leverage your efforts some more. So look, this is what most people do. They go, okay, I'm going to create a campaign, and they go, right, I'm going to broadcast it. So they click the get started, and I don't really want to show you these steps in too much detail, because it's not the steps themselves are not as important as the concept I'm talking about, right? So they go and they write an email, and then they click send, or they review and send, and they might send it right away. Yeah, it won't send because I haven't added anybody in. It might send it right away, or you might schedule it to be sent at a particular point in time, right? Tomorrow, the day after, etc. Now, this is great. Broadcasts can be great, but the problem with broadcasts is you send them out, and then they're not they're not then systemized in a way you can use them over and over again. Now, some of these might be successful and some of them might not, but the problem is a broadcast is just that. It's a broadcast. It's then held in the system. You can't quickly send them these emails again to other people. You have to recreate a new broadcast in most softwares. Some softwares will allow you to resend, but most of them, you'll have to recreate the email. And even if you can click a button and resend, it's not ideal, because if you want to send it to new people, you definitely have to recreate that email to send it again. What I really want to show you is the idea of using a campaign. I'm just going to call this test campaign for the purposes of showing you this today. And this is inside Infusionsoft, right? You might have another bit of software. That's cool. You can use anything you want. I don't believe in there being one software that is superior to anything else, and you should never use anything else but that software. Each business your business is at a different stage to somebody else's. Now look, if you want any help on which software you should be using, you can send me a private message or post it in the group underneath this video, or generally in the group, and I would love to help you figure out which software might be right for you. Just post it, and we can have a conversation and figure out, what do you use it for, what are you looking to use it for, how are you looking to grow, where are you at right now, where do you want to be, and therefore what is the right software for you, because it's not a one size fits all, it's a what works for you. Now I want to show you this, so let's get on with the live stream. What you want to do is create a campaign. not an email broadcast. Now, in some softwares, for example, ActiveCampaign will call call this an automation, and they call what ActiveCampaign call campaigns is different to this. They call this an automation. Infusionsoft calls it a campaign. Debatable which one's right or wrong. Doesn't really matter. It does the same thing. If you're confused about which one it is in your software, just let me know, and I can help you out on that. So really, what is a campaign? So a campaign is an automated sequence of things. It could be emails, it could be tagging people, it could be text message, it could be whatever. There's tons, as you can see here in Infusionsoft. These are the standardized things you can put in a campaign, but there are lots of other things you can put in a campaign. And so what it allows you to do is set up an automated sequence of messages and emails and actions and tagging and back-end stuff to enable you to put people into the campaign, and then they run through that campaign and you can see the result that they get. And when you're creating these email sequences, and so let's say next week you decide you're going to do a sale of a product that you've got. You're going to discount it by, in fact, one of my clients literally just did this. You're going to discount it by 50%. You use the Frank Kern 4-day cash machine to make that happen. Brilliant campaign, by the way, to make that happen. And you want to first track how many people are going through the campaign, who's opening emails, who's clicking, and how many people buy. But also, this campaign could be a campaign that you could use again and again and again and again down the line. And what you don't want to do is have to recreate the emails, reload them into the software every time you want to run it. Now, there is probably going to be a little bit of work in maybe changing some timers and tweaking some bits. But what if we could reduce that work to the bare minimum? And we can, using a sequence like this. So we're going to put in here email sequence. And I'm going to show you how it works in Infusionsoft. They start here, and basically we go, okay, we can either put a delay timer or a date timer. We can also put a field timer, but that's very advanced. Let's just ignore that for the time being. You can put a delay timer or a date timer. Now look, if you put a delay timer, this is great because what you can do, you can load people into the campaign, and you know that you want it to start tomorrow. So you can drag a delay timer and just set that to go out at a particular time. So you could go, hey, wait 4 hours, then send on any day at 8 a.m. So that effectively would start to send it tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And then you can load an email in, and then you can load another delay timer in, and then they can go, hey, once this first email goes out, wait 1 day, any day, and run this at 8 a.m. again. So the second email goes out at 8 a.m. So email 1 is here, and then we load email 2 just here. And then the third email, you might want it to go out again a day later, 1 day later, any day at 8 a.m. You can put another email there. So we've got email 3, etc., etc. So you can make it as long as you want. Now, a date timer compared to a delay timer, and things like ActiveCampaign do have this, and other softwares don't have this. I think I was using ConvertKit the other day, and it was, let's just say it wasn't ideal because it had a version of this, but it wasn't like, for example, I actually wanted in that campaign to use a date timer for a client, and we couldn't set a specific day and time for emails to go out. It was, well, we could, but it was a very long-winded way of doing it. Anyway, if you're using, there's always a way to do this. So you could use a date timer, send it out today at, 10 p.m., for example. You could do that instead of one of these. You can't do both. You can do one or the other. But the advantage of using a delay timer means that once you've created this campaign, you can run it again. You can just load people into this campaign at any time And it'll work, because then what it'll do, they'll load people in and it'll wait 4 hours and then send them this first email at 8 at the next time it is 8 a.m. on any day. And then it'll wait a day and send it at 8 a.m. the next day. Wait a day and send it at 8 a.m. the next day. Whereas date timers are specific to that particular day and time. And this is a brilliant way of, let's say you've got a little flash sale campaign or some sort of campaign that you know you could run over and over again. What you can do is just send people back into the campaign. You don't have to tweak anything, you just send them in. Now, obviously, you might want to tweak the emails, which is cool, but you can send them back in to that campaign and you can run it again. And all you need to do is load them into the campaign. That's it. Now, this is great, because if you spend all that time and effort writing these emails, you can load them into a campaign like this and you can see which campaigns work and don't work and get good results and don't get good results. And by doing so, you can then tweak the emails that don't get good results. So I'm going to go back and just show you one of the campaigns that I have. The Funnel Marketing Coach daily email sequence. You might even be on this daily email sequence. But here's what I want to show you is most good softwares like Infusionsoft will have a reporting feature. And I'm going to put the last 30 days. Now, this is supposed to be a daily email. I'm going to put my hands up and say, I haven't written an email every single day. I just haven't. My bad. So here's the statistics that it shows me. So the 21st of the 9th, the 17 sent, 16 delivered, 4 opens. And it shows me how much opens I get, how many clicks, how many opt-outs. And from that, I can look back at the emails and go, which ones worked and which ones didn't. Yeah, these are good open rates. There's hardly anybody in this campaign. This is a brand new list, by the way. But I can see, like, for example, this one got a click, whereas most of them don't tend to get clicks. And this data really helps me to see where I can improve. Now, you can get this data in broadcasts, but the problem is you then need to reload that broadcast into a campaign, where you can do that in the first place before you start, and by doing so, maximize your efforts. And the returns you get from them efforts, and be able to use them campaigns over and over and over again. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave me that. Really appreciate that. So look, this is a quick, easy way of doing it. Load them straight directly into a campaign, or the software you're using might call it an automation. If you need help with understanding which software you should be using, let me know in the group, and I can help you figure out which is the right software for you. Look, I really love and appreciate all the effort, all the comments that you do put in the group, and the likes and the thumbs up, and please do share this group with other people so you can learn things like this. And next week we've got another live stream, Wednesday morning. I'll let you know what it's about, and I really look forward to seeing you on it. Hey, this is Divian Mistry, the Funnel Marketing Coach, signing out of the Freedom Marketers Masterclass. I look forward to seeing you on the very next episode. Thank you. Have a great day.